No. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. I'm actually a little bit disappointed on my fellow American boxing fans. Not all, but the insecure ones. Those who say that Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. is one of the greatest British fights in boxing history. Nah, it's one of the greatest fights, period, in boxing history. Don't try to minimize it, just saying British. It's one of the greatest fights, top 10 in modern day history, ladies and gentlemen. Put respect on Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. Alright? Because when we say, yo, did you see remember the Marvin Hagler versus Thomas Hearns? That's one of the greatest fights in boxing. We don't say that's people don't say that's one of the greatest American boxing fights in boxing history. No. Boxing is a world sport. Alright? We all in this together. It's just like Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor is one of the greatest women fights that we ever... No. Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor is one of the greatest fights that we ever seen in the history of the sport of boxing. A fight is a fight. Alright? A fight is a fight. So, I don't like us Americans when we try to... Because I understand, man. In America, we like this divided game. This divided game, right? And I understand, there is, rivalries like Mexican versus Americans, the black versus whites, Britain versus American, Irish versus, we like to this divide stuff. But when we have a fight like a Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr., shout out to Chris Eubank Jr., what an incredible display of hard courage, testicular fortitude, and mental fortitude in that 11th and 12th round, so he could capture that victory. And again, shout out to the fathers, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank Sr. Man, it was a surprise. It was an emotional day. Moment when he showed up in that car, man, what a beautiful moment. Y'all already know, if y'all follow the channel, I always say that fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. The greatest lifestyle to live is fatherhood, and shout out to all the mothers as well. But it's a beautiful thing, the collaboration between father and son, and how these fathers build their sons to be who they are and what they're destined to be, and the better version of themselves. And I know that Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. is very proud, just like every great devoted fathers out there. If you're looking on right now, salute to you. But I don't like this divide game, because a fight like that speaks a language that everybody understands. That's the beauty about boxing. We live vicariously through the fighters. That's how we feel. We are attached to those two warriors in that square circle. Because I always say that boxing translates to life itself. And a 12-round bout, is a reflection of life itself, of our lives. We see success moments. We see times we need adjustments. Sometimes we need to, in a 12-round bout, sometimes, a fighter need to take a knee. So he could survive and, go into the next round and put himself in better position to actually adjust and win the fight. Just like in life, sometimes we say that we need to move one step back to move 2 steps forward, right? The battle with nutrition, right? Dieting, that's part of the game, right? We got to be healthy so we can go out there in life and execute, doing a good job, saving money, investing money, just being in good shape, mentally and physically, right? That's what boxing shows us. It's not about winning and losing, but it's how you win and how you lose. Sometimes you live your life the right way and you do everything right. You study right. Your preparation is 100. But sometimes, You don't get what you feel like you deserve, like a victory. Yeah, at the end of the day, you keep your head up high because you gave it all you got. Sometimes there's robbery and corruption in life. There's robbery and corruption. Sometimes, man, we don't get what we deserve. Sometimes we get robbed. That's a 12-round bout, man. At the end of the day, man, we want to be victorious. And every breath we take, every breath that we take and we're living, we're given a chance to go into that next day, to go into that next round and make a better account of ourselves. This fight of Conor Benn, of Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, it was just more than just a fight. It was a storyline. It was father, it was son, it's family, it's forgiveness, you know, empowerment, is support, unconditional love, even when you don't agree with one another. God-fearing, you know, frenemies, friends, acquaintances. You know what I'm saying? This build-up had every element of life itself, and that's why only boxing could give us these type of lessons, and the way that we could resonate with the modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. I know in the sport of boxing, man, a lot of pundits, a lot of media, independent media, YouTube content creators and stuff like that, fan itself, you know, we criticize fighters a lot. But when we see fighters like this, it actually humbles us, because we all know that we wouldn't do what they do for a living. Those take special human beings. And these two guys are special human beings because their father did everything they needed to do in the ring so they could live a good life and they could raise a family, you know what I'm saying, in great areas. No, not that much struggle, 2-parent household and things of that nature, in which these guys, you know, like Ben, like Conor and Chris, you know, they don't have to go to war the way that their fathers did. But what speaks so much of a high volume is that they chose this. Some people say, well, they was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. But let me tell you like this, man. They changed the perception of people that eat off a silver spoon. But also, I know a lot of people in the world like to downplay and like to minimize the silver spoon eaters. But how did that silver spoon got on the table? Parents, grandparents that worked their ass off. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it traces back to hard work. Because at the end of the day, I want my kids to have an easier life than me. I had a rough life, had a rough upbringing. But I love my parents, and they did the best that they could do, just like most of y'all. They did the best that they could do. And we're the one that going to enhance it and make the next generation better, and then our kids make their kids even better. Your success as a parent that worked your butt off and provided is the reason why your kids eat from a silver spoon. But you still teach them the type of morals that we see from Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. So this element has everything. It has everything. The have-nots, the have-it-all. The family structure. And at the end of the day, both of these guys went home to their family. Sometimes we go out and work with pain, problems. Just like Chris Eubank Jr. had to still grieve of his loss of his brother and Senior loss of his son. And we all gonna lose. We all gonna lose. We all gonna lose somebody. But we gotta adjust and live our life every day to lighten up our hearts when we have a heavy heart. Be there for one another. Sometimes your friend needs you more than you need him or her. Sometimes they need you more than you need them, vice versa. So I just love the fight, and we need to stop the divide and unite as a community as well, because that was a wonderful fight that speak every language across the world. The Japanese understood that language in that ring. Africans, Indians, Americans, white, blacks, all the ethnicity. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, God first, everything second, fight plus survive equals two champions. We're one race, the human race. And what makes us special is that we just got different cultures, but that's what makes us beautiful. We're the buffet on earth. We're brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of the Most High. And the best investment you can make in your life is have God in your heart. God first, everything second. Present everything to God that you're trying to do in life. Strengthen your relationship with God. Men, be righteous. Let's be the extension of God again as a society, so we could be the head of the table once again. Because in society, man, we losing, man. They trying to eliminate God. They trying to eliminate the man, the fathers and stuff like that. You don't see it. You see it in football. You see it in basketball. LeVar Ball, shut up. Deion Sanders, man, he eats too much. Yo, the fathers in the sport of boxing, man, fire Bill Haney, fire Teofimo Lopez. They trying to eliminate the fathers. And we need to push back. But we got to be righteous. We got to be righteous. We got to be the extension of God again. So our women, our beautiful queens, could follow righteous men. You think women don't follow dummies or losers. They follow righteous men. And it's the nature of women to help righteous men. It's in scripture. Well, that's all I got to say in the morning. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful morning, wonderful afternoon, wonderful night. Love y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.